Welcome to France and welcome to Lyon. So I recently signed a book deal with Penguin to publish a memoir. Now, I'm the kind of person who requires a combination of distraction and no distraction while writing. More specifically, the right kinds of distractions. I can't have the distractions of being on call for emails, phone calls, or any other responsibilities that I might be forced to engage with at home in Australia. So France is the kind of perfect place for me to write. Chiefly, I'm usually over here a lot anyway, but I don't really have any work obligations while I'm here, apart from those I set myself. So I set myself the task of finishing a memoir over the next 5 weeks in France. I'd already written a lot of this book when I was here in 2019, over about 4 months. However, it remains unfinished, and my deadline is February. So I really need to kind of knuckle down. I promise that's not a knuckle joke. So usually when I'm in France, I spend most of my time in Paris, but I like to get out of the city every now and then, and it's been years since I've been to Lyon. I thought it would be good to spend a week here before going back to Paris, just to get a head start on a lot of writing that I had planned. So we managed to book a beautiful Airbnb with a spectacular view over Lyon. Having a great view is a great thing to fall back on. If you're like me and you like to write with something to look at, I guess, and you don't want to leave the house one day, it's great to have a nice view. So the first day we spent walking the streets and finding a good place to write. I'm going to make a video about what to look for in cafes to write at if you're of that persuasion. But the city itself is really beautiful, and so it's easy to find somewhere really nice and inspiring to sit and write. I found this tiny little cafe that was pretty cool and spent 4 hours there writing. We've also gone out to a lot of great places to eat. Lyon is said to be the food basket of France, and it certainly lives up to its reputation. We went to a bouchon, which is like these special, really traditional type lunch houses that they have here in Lyon. We went to a place called Daniel et Denise, which was really nice. The other day we walked down to some markets that are actually just down the road from where we're staying, and they're open every day, and they have fresh fruit, vegetables, cheese, meats, flowers, pretty much anything. So as for the writing this week, I've been finishing off a lot of my earlier life stuff, which involved moving from the United States, where I grew up as a child, Dallas, Texas, to be more specific, and moving to Australia and all of the strange cultural differences that I detected when moving to Australia, and also trying to fit in as a young American kid in Australia, which was a little bit strange, to be honest. I also read a little bit about my parents, which was kind of weird. It's hard to, remain subjective and objective at the same time when talking about your parents. And also about my school time as well in high school, which is obviously where I met Chris and a bunch of other friends that will feature more in my memoir later down the track. This week as well, I also started writing about the worst gig of my life, the worst DJ gig of my life, which was at a place a few hours south of Sydney at a pub that will remain unnamed. But if you read the book, you'll hear about this place. It was absolutely terrible. The accommodation was terrible. My night was terrible. We fucking hated it. But look, this is going to be the first in maybe 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 videos that I do while here in France writing this book. I just want to keep you guys up to date with what's going on. Not that you give a shit, but it's more of an accountability thing for me, I think, than anything else. I'm aiming to write about 3,000 words a day. So far, I've been sticking to that. And look, the streets around here are a fantastic inspiration to write. I recommend anyone do it if they're thinking of writing a book or a blog or a fucking Twitter post. See you in the next one.